Yeah, so you're talking about sort of when you were getting your jobs and just sort of turning up at the door. What sort of approval process was there at that sort of time for these jobs? Because obviously some of it's sort of secrecy.
Well, there wasn't any secrecy with NASA at the time. Later in the DoD shuttle flights there was, but at that time it was, okay, I had a degree of this and I followed that, and you had to have degrees in, sciences and math and so forth, and then how much experience you have. And they went to a curve. The curve said, okay, you're a GS7. I said, well, what's that? And he said, well, that's $6,345 a year. And I said, oh, that's way too much, because I was making $3,600 a year. That shows you how far back I go. But so it was a matter of, it was a desperation for getting people, and the people had to be qualified to a certain degree, but it wasn't a great amount. At 25, I didn't have all that much experience.
There's another piece to that too. There's a fellow named Robert Gilruth, who started the Space Task Force. He was the leader at Langley. That later became the Manned Spacecraft Center in the Johnson Space Center. I was told, I've never heard it straight from Bob, but I was told that early on he decided that the best thing they could do is go hire a bunch of young people without preconceived notions of how you do something, because it never had been done and what we were going to try to do. And he said, I don't want people that are set in their ways that they learned in aviation, high speed, high altitude aviation. So I think that in the end paid off. We had a bunch of really young people in the control center. I think the average age in Gemini was 27 or 27, I think, in Gemini. That same group got a little older, so we were up in our late 20s average by the time we got to Apollo, and probably ended at early 30s. But we were young. It was a young bunch of people, and the energy level was extremely high. I'll tell you a quick story about one of our guys that we know very well named John Aaron, who you probably, those of you that know about SCE to AUX, and we'll talk about that, was the guy that made that call. He was about 23 years old when he came to work. And
fresh off the farm.
Off the farm.
Right straight off the farm. He and his wife decided they were gonna go to Houston. Same way you did. I didn't know he got a telegram that made him an offer. And he said, okay, we'll go down there for a couple of years and make enough money to buy some cows, and then come back to Oklahoma and go into the farming business. 38 years later, he retired, and probably one of the best flight controllers we ever had, and became space station program manager, all kinds of things. And but that was the way he started. Was he made an application trying to find some money to buy some cows, basically, and he ended up making a career of it.
And saved Apollo 12.
And he saved Apollo 12.
Yeah, among other things.
Yeah.
John was one of these guys that had an eidetic, perfect memory that was combined with God-given common sense.
Yeah.
A lot of times you'll have the memory, but you won't have the common sense. He had both. I wasn't the first one to have an inferiority complex about John Aaron. By the way, to pick up on what Gerry said about what kind of people we were back then, and as I give something I say in my talks, that we were young, we were aggressive, and no one had ever told us that we couldn't land people on the moon. And that's the difference. Nowadays you have a lot of risk aversion, and there's too many reasons for not doing something rather than just say, hey,
Let's get it done.
let's get it done, right?
Yeah.